Hello and welcome into this week's edition of YITTY! It's yes, I'm talking to you. That is the incomparable Nina Blanco. Hi, Nina.
Hi.
And I am Dubz, and we like to yell at a lot of people on this podcast.
Yeah.
We start every week with the you, me, and we. So, Nina, why don't you go first? Who do you want to yell at?
Okay, this one, I'm a little bit conflicted on who to yell at, but I think I've made up my mind. I wasn't sure if I should yell at Jack in the Box or if I should yell at Seth Rogan, because they have an issue right now. So Jack in the Box, they are getting on board with like celebrating 420, and they're like, you know what? Stoners are our brand, so we're gonna like do all of our marketing towards the stoners. And so for 420 coming up, they decided to release a new Pineapple Express shake. On 420, it costs you $4.20 on 420 only, and that's when you can get Pineapple Express, this pineapple flavored shake at Jack in the Box only.
Sounds like a great idea.
For sure. But Seth Rogan, the actor, had a problem with that because he's like, hold on, Jack in the Box. You're not going to profit off of stoners and my movie when we've never talked before. So Seth Rogan has an issue with this. He made sure to tweet out, he retweeted their ad, he quote tweeted it, and he said, this has nothing to do with the movie Pineapple Express. We had nothing to do with this and weren't asked if we wanted our film associated with this. And obviously, if we did a tie-in, it would have to be to promote those bizarre fucking diarrhea-inducing taco things they sell.
It is. They are the worst tacos, but I still buy them.
They're so greasy.
They're so terrible.
I can have like one and still regret it.
But I love them still. I don't know why. He's absolutely right.
He's totally right.
The end of the story.
But it sounds like Seth Rogan was upset with Jack in the Box for using Pineapple Express.
Oh yeah.
Which Pineapple Express is also like now its own strain of actual weed that you can buy. Yeah. But I'm kind of thinking too, like, I don't know, like Pineapple Express, the movie, it was great. And because of that movie, they created Pineapple Express, the strain of the weed. I don't know that there is any money tie-in with the movie and the weed. And now with Jack in the Box kind of jumping in, I don't know that they're necessarily trying to capitalize on the movie. I think they're just trying to capitalize on the weed strain. And like they're obviously going towards the stoners for 420, weed, all of that. So I'm a little bit like, Seth Rogan, bruh, you need to chill. But
he is right.
But also
it all came from, there was never Pineapple Express stuff associated with stoners before the movie.
For sure. And that movie made this strain of weed happen, and it is a favorite. But again, I don't think that Seth Rogan has financial ties with that strain of weed. It just, that was a byproduct of the movie. So for him to get mad at this, and he's like, this has nothing to do with the movie. Like, I don't think they're trying to have anything to do with your movie, dude. They've moved on with that. They're talking about the actual strain of weed now.
It's the literal same name.
I know, but I feel like Seth Rogan a little bit like, bruh, smoke some weed and calm down about this, because I don't think it has as much to I don't think he has as much to be mad about. So like, why are you being this mad at Jack in the Box?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why I'm like, I don't know who to be mad at, because I can see it from both sides. Yeah. But ultimately, I think Seth Rogan needs to chill.
Okay,
it's conflicting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Because I don't know. I think I come down on the side of Seth Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. Because if somebody started like profiting off your breakfast burrito Friday.
Yeah, which someone totally could. Don't do it.
Right, but like you also probably wouldn't do anything about it.
Right.
Except get on Twitter and be like,
well,
fuck these guys.
Here's the thing. Seth Rogan with Pineapple Express and strains of weed, and other people probably trying to profit off of Pineapple Express because it was so iconic. Why doesn't he hold the copyright to it or trademarked it? You know what I mean? Like,
he probably does in certain instances, but when you do that, it's only for certain things.
So you know fair game.
Yeah, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
I don't know.
That over our time.
I mean, yes, for sure. It's just, I don't know. I don't know which side to be on in this case, and I don't know if I'm just leaning towards being against Seth Rogan. Yeah. And I love Seth Rogan, I really do.
And here's the argument from the other side, like, that's 15 years ago.
Right?
Like, what what are you going to do with the movie other than just like make money off the shake? It's not like you're promoting something and they're getting in the way of that because they're using Pineapple Express.
Exactly.
It's, you know, it's like using Grease Lightning for something like that was 50 fucking years ago.
Right. And it's a one-day promotion, and they're kind of like, I don't know, shining a little bit of a spotlight on the stoners, and it's specifically 420, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Isn't it weird?
So we're both going to go get Pineapple Express shakes is what we decided?
Dude, if there was a Jack in the Box around here, I'd say why not?
I mean, Nina's high right now, so.
Coming down. It's fine. I'm fine. We're good. We're good. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, for the me portion of you, me, and we, I want to yell at me.
Why?
I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I was so mad at myself.
No.
So you and I have been going through changes in life that we weren't expecting.
Changes.
And we sing just like that when it happens. You know, we're probably more defined by our career than most people.
Yeah.
Because you put yourself out there so much when you're in radio.
For sure.
And so, I don't know, I've like, ever since that happened, I've kind of just been in a slump when it came to my love life. And I haven't really been like trying super hard. Like, I've been swiping on the apps just to like keep them active. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just to make sure that they don't like be like, you are turned off because you don't exist anymore.
But you're not really trying to actively look.
I just don't have any swagger right now.
You know, so we did get together like a week ago.
Yeah.
And you made a small comment about this because me, you, and Dave, we all got together, and the boy, and we had a little barbecue at Dave's house.
Yeah.
And the boy, I think he asked you, like, hey, how are things? How's it going? Anything new? Are you seeing anyone? And when he got to the dating portion of, are you seeing anyone? You mentioned, you're like, no, I'm totally taking a backseat to it because you were like, I don't know, we're unemployed right now and I'm not doing anything cool. So when a girl inevitably asks, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. Which
like,
has been awkward the couple times I've gotten into that portion of the conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been weird because it's like the third question they ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
The first is some stupid question that from the dating site, and then, you know, it's, you know, what's your favorite dinosaur? And then what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I just haven't had much swagger. And I went, I was door dashing the other day. I was waiting for an order, standing there waiting for a sandwich. The most beautiful girl on the planet ends up standing right next to me. And I'm sitting there, and it's the easiest time to make conversation. She's just munching on some jalapeno kettle chips, just sitting there waiting for a sandwich. We are both just like it's the easiest place. It would have been exactly the place to go before.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm sitting there and I'm just screaming at myself in my head. Like anybody who has ever been told by me, I think has felt how much pressure I can put on somebody with just my words.
Okay.
And I do that to myself inside my own head all the time. So I am sitting there
like, say something.
Screaming at myself.
Why haven't you said something?
Because even if it's stupid, you probably won't ever see her again. Right? And I am just like having this internal warfare go on inside my head, and she's just sitting next to me just eating her jalapeno, and I just couldn't do it.
What? So you didn't say anything?
Didn't say a word.
Why?
Didn't say a word, and was so mad at myself even while I was standing there. But then like when I went out to the car, and I thought like just park the car, walk back in there, be like, I'd be so mad at myself if I didn't say anything to you, so I'm coming in. Can I get your number? Like, just do that. And I couldn't even bring myself to do that. Like, it was. And so, like, I don't know, man. I don't know how people. I don't know a better word for it than swagger. Confidence, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how people.
Confidence is
like,
a good
go
one.
refine that somewhere.
You lost your mojo.
Yeah, like I need Austin Powers to come help me, please.
You lost your mojo. You couldn't do it.
What do you do though? Like, what do you do to get? There's no training for it. You know what I mean? It's not like if I was to go back and like play football now, I'd be like, okay, well, I need to start going to the gym. Like, I know what I need to do. I need to work out to get ready for this opportunity. No. There's nothing like that.
Yes,
like,
there
it's just
is. baby.
Go hit on ugly girls? What?
Oh, baby Dubz. Oh, baby Dubz.
There's nowhere to go for help. There's no training.
You need to work on your self-confidence because clearly after, the last several months of all the BS that we've been put through, you got to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are sexy. And the next time you hit on a girl, she's going to be like, hell yeah, let me give you, you need to talk to yourself, though.
In reality, we both know that those two things you said aren't true.
But you can't think that way about yourself. Are you kidding
myself?
me?
I'm the most rational person that.
Oh my God!
I'm the most rational person on the planet.
Get Dubz' self-help book. Jeez, are you kidding me right now?
I mean, don't get me wrong. People have bought me self-help.
Did you read them?
No, man. Listen, I'm the most practical person in the world. I know I'm not a 10, but the one thing I always used to have was when I was standing there next to that girl waiting for a stupid fucking sandwich.
Okay.
I'm a professional DJ. I could come up with something to say.
So why couldn't you do it?
Because I couldn't. I just couldn't come up with anything.
Okay.
It was like the one thing I was good at got ripped away from me. Because all of a sudden, we're in this dumpster fire of not having a job. I told you I got teeth cracked out of my head, so I feel like a hillbilly because I'm waiting to get a new tooth put in. It's all together. And the one thing I used to be good at, which was making conversation, I was just standing there like a dumbass.
You're killing me right now. Here's the thing.
It's truth.
For sure.
Why do you think I'm yelling at me on the podcast?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh my goodness. But here's the thing. Okay, so when I started my personal podcast, okay, and I was like, okay, we're just going to open up in this first episode and I'm just going to spill my feelings. And I did.
Yeah, I heard
and
you cry.
I cried a lot about it. And when I got to the work stuff and our identities wrapped in the fact that we are a radio personality and look at our job and this is what we do. We live our life as our job, and that's cool. But just because we were laid off and in that situation, they can't take that from you.
But they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
no, they didn't. Because on your resume, professionally, for the last 10 plus years, you're a radio personality. That is your shut your mouth right now. You shut your mouth right now. I'm not done. Why are you still talking? Why are you still talking? Because I'm not done.
Because I'm sad. I'll let you keep going.
They can't take that shit from you. Just because you don't have a current job doing it, that doesn't mean that you're not still a radio personality. When people ask me right now, hey, what do you do? I say, I'm not working right now, but I'm a radio personality. I've had an amazing 14-year career on the radio. They can't take that from you. They cannot take that history away from you just because you're not currently doing it now. So what?
I understand that they can't take that that's been part of my life. I get that. But they did take it away from me on Friday.
But you were choosing to see it that way.
Oh, I was sitting there screaming at myself to say something.
I'm screaming at you now.
And I couldn't come up with something to say, meaning.
And that's okay because you're a little rusty.
Whether I wanted them to or not, that night, they took it away from me. The one thing I was good at.
But you're letting them. And you are letting them, and that is losing the battle, and that is upsetting. Don't let them do that.
It absolutely was upsetting.
It can be a continued work in progress, but don't continue to allow them to take that from you.
It absolutely was upsetting. You're absolutely right. And I am mad at myself. It's why I brought it up.
I'm upset right now.
This was me on, I can't remember. I keep saying Dubz. Friday night. I can't remember
That's
what night
okay. It was just call it Friday.
If you were a cute blonde girl at Chiba Hut
any night this week
and had some chubby guy standing next to you looking like he wanted to talk to you but didn't say a word, it was me.
Break my heart right now. Are you kidding me?
I was so mad at myself in the moment for letting the opportunity pass. Then I was so mad at myself when I got in the car and thought about it, not for only letting the opportunity pass, but also for why it all went down like that. You know what I mean?
How you felt, sure.
I was just screaming at myself for hours in my head, like, you stupid ass. like why would you let them do this? So So that's my me. I wanted to come on. I felt like I needed to confess.
Okay.
And as soon as I was yelling at myself in the car, I'm like, well, that's my me this week, is that I'm going to yell at myself.
Right? For real. Well, thank you for confessing and bringing that up. But we got to work on that because they can't. Don't let them take it away from you. They can't take it away from you. It's already taken. No, it's not.
They already took it.
God, I'm gonna throw this book at you.
I don't even know. I don't even remember what the we is. What's the we? Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm upset right now.
So we're gonna gather ourselves and move on to the we portion of you, me, and we. Russell Wilson and Ciara have done a good job making themselves visible in the community.
Yeah.
No doubt it's a PR move, but I appreciate it. Like you have even if it is a PR move, to make that effort is, I think, important.
Yeah. And beyond just the effort of, the appearances at the Children's Hospital and, other PR things at people's businesses and places of work and stuff like that. Besides that, I feel like just the fact that they cruised down Federal their first week in Denver on a Sunday, that's legit because they didn't have to do that. Right. They did not have to do that part of it at all.
Well, and then you get the big appearances the opening day, first pitch. For
sure,
and, Nuggets courtside and all that. You know what I mean? And I think it's great that they're doing that. Whether it's a show or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
So they recently purchased a $25 million mansion. I believe it's in Cherry Hills North.
South.
Cherry Hills South.
South, yeah.
$25 million mansion. And because they're endearing themselves to everybody, the first thing everybody wants to do is see their place.
I know. So I had a problem with this too because, they bought their house. That's a public thing. You can know that. And they're high profile. So we're going to pay attention. Yeah. It was a little bit cringy to me that all of the news outlets, immediately posted up photos of their house, check out video. They sent one of the news stations, I think it was 9 News, I'm looking at it right now, sent over their news helicopter on top of their house and took news footage, helicopter footage of just the outside of their house. I think that's a little bit messed up.
I think this is one of the few things that Denver as a city is missing.
What?
We don't have too many superstars.
I guess.
So when one comes in, it is a freaking story. And
I know.
Everybody is just kind of obsessed with it.
And I'm guilty. I am for sure.
Did you go look? Because I
had to because I saw all these articles and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to try to look at some of the pictures. And at this time, they didn't have all of the pictures, so I haven't seen them all. And I'm going to do my best to not be that person and click on the link and look through all those photos because it's so invasive. And that's the part that's weird to me is because they're moving here as a family. Yep. Their kids are a part of the PR stuff. Their kids are there, dressed in orange and stuff like that. They had their Rockies jerseys on for opening day. And the fact that they do have children, they are parents. And this home is also the home to their kids. So it feels really weird that news stations are look at their house.
But it is also one of those things where rich people are prepared for this. As somebody who every once in a while takes 2 Taco Bell burritos to very rich people, I can tell you the layers of security that they have to make sure people aren't just
coming through.
Yeah, when their kids are outside playing.
Gated community.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, sometimes we talk about those gated communities and stuff and we're like, come on, you're not that
But this is why we have
this
them.
Is why.
Yeah.
No,
but I don't know. It was a little cringy.
I feel like this is human nature with everything, not just with rich people. Because as we've gone through this housing boom, I've had to resist the urge to go see how much people's houses are worth, including yours.
You can go ahead. I know it's totally okay because Dave does it.
He does it too.
He
and his
told
is
me
one
that.
of the houses that I thought about that too. But
he told me, he's like, I looked up your house on Zillow. I know how much your house is worth. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, there's an estimate for every single property.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to go hunting for it. It's just there.
It's right there. Exactly.
And so I don't know. I feel both ways about it. One, I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is that house worth? Have you ever been to someone's place and you're like,
for sure.
What is that house worth?
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, I don't want to be invasive.
It is a little invasive.
It's not even just about their private property. It's also about their finances. I know how much your house is worth, so
But that's what it's currently worth, and we bought a couple years ago. So we couldn't afford our house now, if that makes you feel better.
I mean...
I couldn't afford my house
get it.
now.
You're rich now, Nina.
I'm not. I'm not.
Nina swaggering in here. I own a house. Well, good for you.
I'm not doing that. Oh my gosh. Man.
But like it's been hard for me to kind of resist that urge. Like why do we have that urge to like I want to look it up and know?
But because Zillow exists, and if you're dropping off like a stranger's food and you're like, ooh, that's a nice house, I want to creep on their house a little bit. I think that's okay because they're a stranger.
Oh man, this house I delivered to the other day.
Can I see it on Zillow? Was it huge?
Maybe after.
Okay.
Not only was huge, like it was fenced in inside a fenced in community.
Oh.
And like it had
I'm sure Russell Wilson and Sierra will do the same thing to their house.
Probably.
Yeah.
It had like the big pillars out front that made it look like the fucking White House. And I'm bringing 2 orders of chicken wings there.
Like, all right.
Like,
here you
have
go.
way more money than I do.
Please tip me at least 20%.
All right, so every week we like to bring good news as well because we don't like to be all negative on the podcast. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is good news. This is actually like super intriguing news to me because I'm a big nerd, but I thought maybe we might need to enlist the help of some experts. In early July, the 5 nearest planets to the Earth are going to be perfectly aligned. For only like the 4th time this millennium. And apparently it messes with like the electromagnetic forces of our
our magnetic poles.
Our atmosphere.
Okay.
Yes. That protects us from like the sun and stuff.
Okay.
When it's all in line, it like pulls it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. And so that's why people are like, there's weird stuff that's happening when the planets align.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to know if that's true.
Well, this happens all the time with Mercury fucking retrograde and the full moon, and people act crazy all the time on like full moon.
There's all these kinds of things that people believe in. And so I didn't know if we needed to get your, I want to say it right, brujeria?
Bruja. You can call her a bruja.
Okay. Your bruja friend on and have her tell us like if we should do some sort of sacrifice or something.
Oh my god.
And then also like
she's going to be so excited.
I also want to get on like a scientist to be like, is that real? Does it really like affect our planet because they're all in line? Yeah. Like it would make sense. There's a ton of Jupiter is one of the planets. And it is almost as big of a gravitational force as the sun. So, like, now all of a sudden the planet's getting pulled in 2 different directions.
That's
I don't know.
true.
It's super cool to think about, and it made me want to put it in the good news.
Okay. Super cool. So, the good news is that something once that has happened maybe 4 times in the last millennium is going to happen in our lifetime. Yeah. The bad news is y'all might be acting cray.
The bad news is we might have to make a sacrifice to make sure that we don't. I don't know. Your bruja friend then needs to tell us.
For real. Oh my gosh. I should ask her. If you want her on YITTY next week, just let me know, and I'm sure I could schedule something with her.
If she's got something for it,
I'll ask her. I'll text her. I'll feel it out.
She also may be just like annoyed, like, hey, white boy, this has nothing to do with what we talk about. Like, leave me alone.
No, she's usually into all of that and whatever phase the moon is in and whatever. I don't know. Like your horoscopes and stuff change apparently. Like you can be like a Venus Cancer or a Jupiter Cancer, and I don't know what any of that means. Well, but she does.
You have a moon sign and then a star sign. Like your star sign is the month you're born in, but where the moon is when you're born is your moon sign. And so that's
what that is.
2 different things.
Well, you can also be those things in just like a certain time of the year where certain people thrive. On like a certain night that is, I don't know.
Almost a year since we got fired. So like, when is that thrive time?
Right.
I feel like we've gone through a whole cycle here.
Oh my god!
And I'm just looking for suggestions as to when that time may be.
Okay. You know what? I'll ask. I don't know. She does tarot readings. She does virtual tarot readings. If you're ever interested, yeah, she can get you on like FaceTime or even just a phone call and do it for you.
The one time I got a reading. I got incredibly bad news in the reading.
Oh, no.
And so I don't really do those anymore. But.
Really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
The one time I had a reading, they told me that I needed a change, so I broke up with my boyfriend, and it was like the best ever for me.
Oh, is this one syllable? What's his name?
All my exes are one syllable, by the way.
I just listened to that the other day, actually. You talking about that on air.
Which one?
It's part of my profile.
Gotcha.
That you won't date a person with just one syllable name.
Yeah, not anymore.
Because I had a bad experience.
With 3 in a row?
Okay, well, I'm sorry. My name is Rob. It doesn't make me a bad person.
Oh my gosh.
All right, finally, we like to holler at holler at sounds good. This is not good. We like to yell at our whack ass of the week.
Yes.
And this week it's like a whole plane full of people.
Yeah.
Nina, go ahead. Who
Can
you got for the whack ass of the week?
Can I say my thing that I said earlier?
You are the one that is recording this and putting it on the internet, so you can say whatever you want.
Okay, Dubz, what's worse than snakes on a plane?
What?
Christians on a plane.
This was
Happy
so bad.
Easter.
This was so bad.
Did you see the video? This video went viral this past week. There was, I don't know, this Christian group. It was like a youth group, and like,
no idea.
But there was a bunch of Christians, okay, on a flight, all right, and they all happen to be part of the same group, and all of a sudden they start breaking out into Jesus songs on a plane in the air. And if you're another passenger on this plane, you have to sit there and listen to it because there's nowhere to go. You're on an airplane.
I mean, it is a movie script, right?
Unreal.
With the guy is so cliche with his acoustic guitar that he takes out and starts dancing around with in the middle of the aisle.
Sir, sit down.
There's like 10, 15-year-olds that are like brainwashed and singing along with him. And like there's nowhere for these people to go.
I didn't watch the video. I refused.
The video, I wouldn't listen to it.
I saw the headline and I was like, that's enough.
I listened to like 3 seconds of it. I was like, nope, I'm not. But at the end of the video, the person, whoever it is, pans over to the window of the airplane and shows like we are in the middle of the we are in the air right now,
like 20,000 feet up.
How do the flight attendants allow this to happen?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Like seriously,
a little bit.
I would have been furious.
Me too. Don't get me wrong. And like the boy, he would have been pissed off. I would have been pissed off. You would have been pretty furious about it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I will, however, say,
don't even
in a little bit, just to like not justify, but like be on their side just a little bit. Because I refused to watch the video, but I did read some Facebook comments about this, and someone had a point. What is the difference between them doing this and like, remember the cast of The Lion King on Broadway broke out into song on an airplane? What is the difference?
Because the cast of Broadway and The Lion King haven't like entrapped and murdered people for thousands of years.
They killed Mufasa.
They haven't like tried to influence people and taken their money and help controlled governments for centuries.
That was my one attempt to get into heaven and just like defend the Christians.
Listen, unless that is a plane of 190 Christians in a chartered flight back from some mission trip that they were on, which if it is, then totally fine.
Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah, like, listen, I have no problem with you believing in a religion, celebrating it. Like, that in that part, I think maybe I'm even a little different than you. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care if you're part of a religion. Do not trap me on a plane and rub that shit in my face. Like, I would have started singing the most raunchy death metal song I could think of.
Right?
Just like murder people and kill children. And
cut my heart into pieces.
Right, exactly.
This is my last resort.
I want to commit suicide and you're the reason. I really like, and you...
So funny.
You never know how you would react in the situation. I think at first I would be like, this isn't really happening, right? Like, so I would give it a song before I stand up and say something. But if that went for more than like 90 seconds,
would you have said something?
Absolutely.
What would you say? What do you say in that situation?
I would have stood up and said, this is incredibly inappropriate. If people aren't Christians here, it's borderline offensive. If you're talking about
and harassment,
like if Muslims had gotten up on that plane and started singing, what would have happened?
Right.
The fucking U.S. flight marshal would have gotten up and tackled somebody.
Probably.
But because these people are Christian and singing about Jesus, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just as offensive when you do it. If you find it offensive, then it's always offensive, right?
True.
If you don't find it offensive, then fine. But come on.
We all know.
We all know.
I think like 90% of people find that shit offensive.
So, like, what are you doing? And, like, they're like, oh, well, we're spreading the word of God. Good. You can't do it while I am trapped on this plane.
With you.
And again, where were the flight attendants? Like, I'm sure it was an awkward situation for them.
For sure.
But the guy had a guitar, which means that there was time where he, like, stood up, went either to the front or got it out of the bin, pulled it out, tested out the strings to see if it was like,
there was a lot of time to stop him.
It wasn't like the guy just popped up and started playing guitar. Like, he had this. God. How did you let this whole thing go down?
Yeah.
If some long hair hippie smoking, I play acoustic guitar for girls guy pulled out a guitar and started singing on a plane, they would have shut him down in a fucking second.
How long do you think that went for? Like, did he get into like song number 2 or was it like one full blown song?
I have no idea. I just know that wasn't the first 15 seconds that person recorded, right?
Yeah, like, you're right. You're totally right.
There had to be minutes go by before that video
I like
started.
low-key want to like, should we watch it?
Yeah, pull it up. Oh my gosh. If you're one of the flight attendants, how you don't get ahead of that is beyond me. And then, like, while it's going on, you see the people who are, like, grouped around singing are one thing, but the people, like, if you look at the faces of the people in the seats, it's like, is this really happening?
Wow. This plane, by the way, was an international flight.
Oh.
Was on its way to Germany.
I would have broken his guitar and then blown my brains out.
Oh, no.
Like, I can't imagine. And it's so rude. Like the person that listens to their phone sound without headphones on is considered rude. How is this guy not thinking to himself, this is inappropriate. I probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to play some of it. Are you ready? Because
you
haven't listened you didn't listen to any of it, right?
I listened to like 3 seconds of it and I heard them singing and I'm like, nope.
Okay, we're going to try. Hold on, we have an ad first.
Oh, okay. Well, use Anchor for your podcast. That's
our ad.
It's our ad. That's the one that we have.
Okay, here we go.
It's not even good singing. Like, sometimes.
Gosh. Sometimes, yeah, and there are a lot of people that you can see that are just like, this one guy is just bent down, kind of like, oh my gosh. There's another guy, he looks like someone's 50-year-old dad, and he's just like, get me off this plane. And because if they're on their way to Germany from the US, how long is that plane ride?
Like 12 hours or something.
Like, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. Well, so sit your asses down. I don't care how old you are.
And sometimes, like, you can just sit there and marvel at the talent.
Yeah.
Right? This
was not it.
They were terrible singers.
Yeah.
They were awful singers.
Man.
Like, what's the difference between the Broadway people and Lion King? They know how to sing.
Okay,
it's amazing to listen to them because they actually have talent. Look. That was literally, what is that movie? That is the movie with Paul Rudd where they're sitting at the campfire and the guy's sitting there with his guitar singing about wings or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's so bad.
I read that Facebook comment and I was like, I guess that's true. And then I moved on with my life. I didn't think about it anymore until now. So you're right. You're right.
It is painful to me to think about because I would be the person that stood up and said something and I bet they wouldn't stop afterwards, and now I'm fighting some like God-fearing
and then you know what would have happened afterwards? The guy who was holding the guitar, he would have come up to you, he would have been like, I will pray for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, well, we'll leave it with that. Hopefully nobody's praying for me, but we'll see. Thank you very much for listening. She's the incomparable Nina Blanco. You can find her on social media at the Nina Blanco on all of them.
And then you can find Dubz at Dubz the Third on all of them.
We try to put the podcast out every Monday, so make sure that you look for next week's episode either on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to YITTY!